do something else.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's all you need.
Readjust, rethink, you know what I'm saying? Come up with another strategy.
Right.
Reinvest.
Yeah.
And to come up with another plan.
Right. That's all part of being a businessman.
Right. You got to be open to learning from others' experiences.
Yeah.
And your own experiences.
That's all a part of being a businessman too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. I try to tell people this too. I do a little class in my spot called Brandon Boot Camp, and a lot of people jump into this game.
Let me tag you in this too.
Go ahead. A lot of people jump into this game, and they wanna. Usually, it's like I look at myself like a coach versus a player. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people jump into this game and they want to be the player. You know, they want to be. They want to rock all the clothes. They think that they got a lot of swag. They think that they got a heavy influence, so that's why they want to have a clothing line or a clothing brand. Right. But that ain't the case. Sometimes people got to know what their lane is.
That's another thing too, man.
If you good at rocking clothes and all that, maybe you should be an influencer.
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't own a brand because owning a brand is another skill set. Right. You know what I'm saying? This ain't got. I tell people all the time, I ain't nowhere near the freshest person that will fly V. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of people fly to me, but I know my lane. That ain't my job. Is not to be the flyest person. My job is to create the fly for other people to be the fly. You know what I'm saying? So, you got players and then you got Saban. You know what I'm saying? Saban can't make no tackles for nobody. You know what I'm saying? His job is just to put you in position. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Drew Fly V, and I'm in the studio chilling with my boy Jay. Studio Life After Dark. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Fly V Collection and check out the website fly-v.com. Don't forget the dash. Studio Life After Dark. Studio Life After Dark.
Every day to get some money, feet hit the ground and I start running full speed ahead for bread to be 100. I ain't going to it, then I'm coming from it. Leave all that crash for the dummies. Stay fresher than a mall mannequin. Drip management so scandalous. Some feel it's career damage, and we cover real with a hood logic. Latest news and the good topics. Low down dirt, oh we got it. On that real, that's how we rock it. Country cunning and we real cocky. Women gossip, know you heard about it. Word is that we been popping on that king shit. Call me hood jockey. Tune in, it's about to start. Studio Life After Dark. Just as soon as the night spark. Studio Life After Dark. Need tips to the chicks hard. Studio Life After Dark. Stock market tips, hottest car. Studio Life After Dark. Tune in, it's about to start. Studio Life After Dark. Just soon as the night spark. Studio Life After Dark. Need tips to the chicks hard. Studio Life After Dark. Stock market tips, hottest car. Studio Life After Dark. 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 Studio Life After Dark.
Live from Studio Life Studios. I'm your host Jay. Tonight we have a very, very special guest in the building. This guy's got a very lavish clothing brand line right here in Birmingham, Alabama. Without further ado, let's welcome in Fly V clothing brand, Mr. Drew Jones.
What up?
What's up, man?
What up?
What's going on with you?
Hanging, man. Shout out to Jay, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for inviting me to the studio.
No doubt, man. No
Sure.
doubt, man. I'm gonna go and jump right in it, man. Like, how did you get started with your clothing brand?
You want the long or the short?
Hey, give me to me how you want to give it to me. Like, when did it start?
All right.
Like, give us a year when it started.
All right, so Fly V started in 2010.
Okay.
But I'll take you back and give you the backstory on it. What got me into doing apparel and stuff like that was back in high school. Played football.
Okay.
Played football in high school. I was a pretty good football player in high school. Was getting recruited, and me and my friends was going out to a lot of different football camps. You know, you get recruited, you go to a lot of camps and stuff like that. Right. Back then, you didn't have as many spirit packs as some of the other schools. Back then, we used to only get one spirit pack. You know, you might get a hoodie, a pair of shorts, something like that. Right. So I used to want all, me and my friends to look alike and add a little swag to it. besides the one spirit pack that we used to get once a year, you know what I'm saying? So I used to take our football clippings, our newspaper articles, me and some of my friends, we was top football players in the state of Alabama. And I used to take our football clippings and scan them. Back then we had to scan them. I know everybody got at-home scanners now,
Right.
but mom used to have dry media Kinkos. We used to have to scan the newspaper, cut them out, put them on transfers, and I used to heat press the newspaper clippings to a T-shirt, kind of like a collage.
Okay.
It used to look like a collage of newspaper articles on a T-shirt with me and all my friends' newspaper articles and stuff like that. Used to wear them and wear them to camps and stuff like that, and that used to give us a lot of notoriety. We was already good players, so that teach you a lot about influencing. So a lot of the kids at other schools used to see the T-shirts, and they used to ask to get their newspaper clippings put on T-shirts. Okay. So that kind of is what got me into apparel. Then, like I said, I was a good player in high school, but I also was a good student. I was valedictorian in minor high school.
That's what's up, man. I think
yeah,
we need to give
style
a shout out for
fuck,
that,
you know
though,
what
man.
I'm
That's dope, though, for real, though.
Yeah, so
I wasn't that good in high school, but hey.
I mean, but I used to be on my books in school, same way on the field, off the field. So I was getting recruited, and one of the big things about me getting recruited was I was a top player, and I was getting recruited by a lot of Power 5 schools, but I ended up choosing the school to go to that was more academically sound. I went to Furman, which is a liberal arts college in Greenville, South Carolina. Shout out to Furman. And,
what position you play in high school?
Linebacker.
Linebacker, okay.
Yeah, linebacker. So because I made that decision, back then they used to do something called Super Seniors. Mm-hmm. And it's like the top 24 players in the state of Alabama. I was ranked number 17. I don't know if y'all remember, like John Parker Wilson that went to Alabama quarterback.
Yeah,
he was ranked 18. So like them top 24 players in the state is like real dogs, right?
Yeah,
so like, so me, one of my friends that played on the team, we had 3 super seniors on one team in high school. So I chose to go to that school that I went to, and it was a big deal because I went there over a lot of other scholarships that some other people probably would have took. That's all about football.
Right.
Some SEC schools. So I ended up going to Furman. It was a big deal, and they used to always attach to my recruitment that this linebacker, highly recruited linebacker, he has his own T-shirt business. Okay. Back then, it was kind of like a custom T-shirt business, kind of like how you see people do today. Like they make bachelor party, birthday party, right. Just custom T-shirts, stuff like that. So I had my own custom T-shirt type of business, and that followed me to college. And actually, when I got to college, that story continued to grow alongside of my athletic career. Okay. And my university actually got me my first heat press machine. I got an old one that was donated to me through the athletic department, and that's how I got my first heat press machine. Okay. So while I was in college, I kept doing the same thing, like making custom type of T-shirts, stuff like that on the side. And I was also a good college player too. I was an All-American in college.
So were you making them strictly for like the football team, or you was making?
Nah, I was making them just random requests. Like how you get people that's random, like they find out you got a little T-shirt business, something like that. Right. They want you to make something for my birthday, make something for my bachelor party, make something here and there, just random orders. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Nothing that's real big. Just ones and twos, custom orders. You know what I'm saying? So I had that going while I was in school. But same thing that happened to me in high school happened to me in college. That story ran alongside my athletic career. And since I was a really good player in college, I went to that school. It was a smaller school. I didn't redshirt, played 4 straight years. And, I was an all-conference player and stuff like that in college. So that story grew along with me. Whenever I got, accolades academically or accolades athletically, they used to always mention that this linebacker also has his T-shirt business. So
up,
it
man.
allowed that part, that part of my talent to grow too. So moving past that, after I got out of college, stuff like that, I had a free agent opportunity to play football, but it didn't work out. I didn't make an active roster. And when I came back home, I still had people that was supporting my creativity.
Wait, so you said you had like when you said you had some opportunity free agent, meaning like the NFL.
NFL free agent, yeah,
Oh,
NFL
yeah, talk
free
about
agent.
that, man, for real though.
Had NFL free agent opportunity with St. Louis Rams. I signed Player Association contract, all that.
Mhm.
I did some individual workouts, stuff like that too. But I just didn't. I didn't make it to 53-man roster.
Gotcha.
Didn't make an active roster. So
Hey man, that's an accomplishment just to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
to that point though, for real, man.
yeah,
Like,
it is
a lot of people dream of even just going to college, but the fact that you went to school and you
for sure.
actually had a trial with an NFL team, man, that's hard there for real.
But to me, football did what it's supposed to do. I went to
Right.
school, paid for school, scholarship, everything worked out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, after I got out of school, still was getting like a lot of different random requests, and that's during the time while I was training, like NFL training and stuff like that, and that started to get overwhelming. So that's why I developed the brand Fly V to kind of consolidate all those random requests,
Okay.
to consolidate it into one brand and get everybody that wanted to support my creativity in more of an inline fashion. So,
Right.
I created a brand and decided to drop collections every season, so anybody that wanted to support my creativity could support Fly V like that. And actually, shout out to my boy Jeremy, who gave Fly V his name, because at first it was Flying V.
I was gonna ask you that, like, how
Right.
did you come up with the concept Fly V? Like, what does it stand for? Like the Fly V? Like,
Right,
explain
right.
that to us.
So at first it was Fly V. It was Flying V, right?
Flying V.
Flying V, Forever Live Young. And then
Okay.
my homeboy Jeremy, shout out Jay, he told me to chop it off and just call it Fly V.
Fly
you know what I'm
V.
saying? So Fly is an acronym. It stands for Forever Live Young. The V, we always leave it as the mystery. Everybody want to know what the V stand for. The V symbolizes wellness and empowerment.
Okay.
The letter V is the only letter in the alphabet that has one origin and has all positive upward motion. When written correctly, it starts at one origin and it grows upward.
Gotcha.
That's why we choose the wings, like for the logo.
Gotcha.
So the letter V, it symbolizes wellness and empowerment. When when the human body is in its best shape, it's in V form. It's in a natural V-shaped form.
Right.
So that's what the letter V stands for.
That's dope, man.
For sure.
So I know that you, I read somewhere where you started here in Alabama and Birmingham, right, with the clothing store, with
Correct.
the brand.
Correct. Well, I didn't. You got about 4 or 5 years before I got to the point where I had a store.
Okay.
So I actually created the brand when it was first created. It was created in Atlanta. Then I brought it home with me.
Okay.
And then I was selling it from the car at first.
Hey, true hustles always
Yeah,
start
for
in the
sure.
car.
I was
For real,
selling-
though.
I was
That's why I
selling
started it.
Right, I was selling it from the car at first, and shout out to everybody that remember like the Fly V. I had a little Fly V car, still got it, little Fly V truck, and people used to call the number. This was even before Instagram. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? This was just this was just straight Facebook or whatever, and
Right.
people used to call the number, and I'll pull up with whatever it is they want in the truck. So all the inventory and all that.
That was before all the pop-up shops. Like,
Yeah,
that was
all
the real
that.
pop-up shop.
Yeah,
We
right,
just
right,
pull up
right.
with the whip. Yeah.
Right. So all the inventory stuff like
Yeah.
that was in the truck, right?
That's hard.
And they called the number 924 Fly V. That's still the number, so y'all can call that number whenever y'all want delivery.
Okay.
But the delivery ain't free no more. So
Okay. That's
we
what's up, man.
But so they called the number, pull up with the truck, and I was selling it like that for a long time. Then we graduated from that stage into the store.
Okay.
Yep.
So the store started in what year?
Grand opening was December 9th, 2016, but
Okay.
I like to say the first year of business was really 2017 because we only did that grand opening in that December. Then after the first of the year, we started regular business hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it a hard startup? Like when you first started up in the store, was it like a slow process, or did it just kind of like it just hit you real hard and everything just kind of moved the way you wanted to move?
No, actually it was an easy start, man. And I try to tell people and other entrepreneurs this too. Like, you always want to start small and let the business tell you when it's time to move to the next level or move to the next stage.
Okay.
So like,
What do you break that down though? Because people may not understand. I understand what you're saying, but
what I
everybody
mean
may
by
not
that
understand.
is, I only got a store because the demand was telling me that I needed to get a store.
Okay.
For example, I was selling it from the Flavie car, and it started to get beyond just selling it to your friends or your homeboys, family members, people that you know, and you start getting random calls from people to pull up in neighborhoods you're not familiar with or comfortable going to.
Right.
So that lets you know from a security standpoint that we might need to graduate this into something else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And with that being said, like moving into the store, it was actually a lot better because now you already built a following of people, and they already know what it is that you're selling. They know what it is that you provide. They already encountered your brand in person. So when you graduated it to the store, that's just giving them an outlet to come get what they already looking for.
Okay. So, but was it a hard transition? Because I remember I was the same way. Like, I had a 92 Suburban, man. I used to sell all kind of clothes and everything out of it. But sometimes it can be a hard transition from, you can have probably a bigger customer base, going from neighborhood to neighborhood, just like you mentioned.
Yeah, right.
And then once you get in a stationary location, things may tend to slow down because people get kind of accustomed to you, like coming to them and everything. So was that a hard transition for you, or was it easier?
No, that's actually true. So yeah, you do have to go through that growing pain of trying to reprogram your customer base to come to you versus how you used to go to them all the time.
Right.
That's actually a fact that it is a growing pain, but I think it's something, if you do it right and you do it you take it slow, then it'll be easy for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to do things to help bring them down, invite them down, and then once you get that part going, it's okay. Like I said, I still deliver if somebody needs to deliver, or whoever I got that's working at the store, they may be able to deliver something to you.
Okay, that's dope, man.
And then, too, especially when now we got e-commerce, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When I first started, e-commerce was, kind of just getting started. But now, like, everybody really comfortable and stuff with shopping online. So that's a whole nother outlet, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's talk about COVID. So, of course, when COVID hit, everybody kind of either slowed down, people had to readjust, like, you had to really see, like, what your business is made of. Either you're going to, like, give up on it. A lot of people lost jobs. A lot of people lost their business because of COVID. Like, how was you able to, like, maneuver and work your way through COVID, like, from the start to the beginning, though?
I always say, like, man, real entrepreneurs, real hustlers, they always figure out a way.
Right.
So, like, if they closing this lane down, kind of like sports, you know what I'm saying? If they stop you on this, then you got to pivot and make another move, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like
I'm the best pivoter in the game, man. I be pivoting.
right. You gotta be able to be flexible, man.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to do it spontaneously because you never know when it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But for me during COVID, I try to tell people, especially for small business, small black business, it actually was good for me because COVID let everything slow down. You know what I'm saying? It made the world slow down. Everybody got a chance to, take a, kind of just chill for a second. And for people like us or people that's doing small business, it leveled the playing field with bigger brands and big businesses and people. It
definitely did that.
Right.
Yeah,
it helped level the playing field because smaller businesses, by necessity, we already have social media presence because that's the only way that we can get a competitive advantage of being in front of people if we don't have big box retail or if we in stores all across the country or whatever. So it's almost mandatory that you got to have some type of online presence, social media, e-commerce. So when COVID happened, all the big boys and people that's not used to having that social media presence had to build one, whereas people like us that's already having to do that out of necessity already got that platform built to keep everything rolling.
Okay. I know it may have been like a real frustrating moment for a lot of businesses, small business, big business, whoever. I just wonder what really made you like. Did you have any moments where you just felt like, hey, this ain't gonna work? COVID shutting everything down, and not necessarily just COVID, but
Right.
you ever had a moment just in your business itself where things slowed down? You felt like maybe this is not my path. Maybe I should do something different. Like you ever had a moment like that where you just felt like you just wanted to give up or anything?
For
'Cause
sure, man.
there's a lot of people out there who really, they may have started their business, gave it 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year, 2 years, 5 years, and
Right.
they give up on it because of, different circumstances, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So
right.
have you ever had any moments like that? And like, what did you do to like help yourself move forward?
Man, all the time. I mean, I still have moments like that every week. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here.
Just like you said, like you already know, entrepreneur lifestyle is a roller coaster.
Right.
But you just can't let yourself get too high when it's high and not too low when it's low.
Okay.
You might have some days where you make $1,000. The next day you might make zero.
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
That's true.
And you
That's
can't
true.
you can't really be
That's true.
when you're an entrepreneur and you're working for yourself, you have good and bad, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is consistency. So like you said, people that's running into a rough patch and stuff like that, you want to build slowly and consistently, because that's what's going to pay off in the long run to get you consistent business, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even for me right now, I've been doing it for a long time, and sometimes you still have rough patches or it get rocky, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's good for people to hear that, man, because I know a lot of times people they run into a, not necessarily issue, but they just may feel like this is not what they're supposed to do. Or they
Right.
may feel like, oh, business is slow, so they may feel like they want to give up. They get down and get depressed. Like,
Right.
I've had plenty of times, man, like in my store, my clothing store, man, like in the beginning, like I had plenty of days, man, where I cried because people weren't walking through that door, and I had
For sure.
invested so much into my business, and I was wondering, like, why aren't people coming in? You know
I'm
what I
right
mean?
there with you, dog.
So I didn't give up, but I think people need to know that, it's not just them. Like, we all go through that. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? Like, we have those rough patches. We have those rough times, man, and we want to give up on it, but we just can't give up on it. You know what I mean?
Right, man. I feel like social media do a bad job of painting that picture, because everybody always see the highlights. They always
Right.
see, the good part of entrepreneurship. But the flip side to it is just like you're saying,
Right.
you put in a lot of work, you put in a lot of investment, and that does not mean that, everything's gonna work out every time.
Right.
So, you got to be consistent, and, I call it tunnel vision. Make sure you got tunnel vision. If that's your goal and that's what you want to do, then you need to see it through,
Right.
and, kind of expect the rough patches. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
And one thing about it, man, like one thing this platform is for, man, this platform is for uplifting people, highlighting people, showcasing different people's talents,
Right.
people who have businesses, showcasing the leaders, the entrepreneurs, educators, musicians, everything in this business. So that's one reason why we created this platform, to like let people know, like, hey, you can be seen. We want to make sure you be seen.
Right.
So that's one reason why we created Studio Life After Dark.
For sure, man. I appreciate you inviting me on the platform.
No doubt, man.
For sure.
No doubt, man. Another thing I was going to ask you, you recently, tell us about the World Games. I read that you had a big part in that.
Right. Right.
You end up, I don't know if you partnered with Protective Stadium.
Right. Partner with Protective.
Okay, yeah. Tell us about that.
So actually, we can kill two birds with one stone. So with Protective, that was a partnership with, of course, everybody in Birmingham. They got the new Protective Stadium downtown, uptown area, and Protective was moving into the downtown area where my store is located. And I was challenged by them to sort of like build a bridge. We want to build a bridge or build a theme between big business and small business, with them moving into the north side area of downtown. And kind of letting the small business community know, and the communities around there know, that Protective is a good neighbor. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the theme that we created, or that we collaborated on, was Bravo Birmingham. And Bravo is an acronym too. I love acronyms, by the way.
Right.
So
With
Bravo.
the fly V, I can tell that.
Yeah, for sure. So Bravo stands for building relationships and valuing opportunity.
Okay.
So
That's hard, though.
right. So Bravo Birmingham is kind of like a
Collaboration.
what's that?
collaboration?
Nah, it's it's a congratulatory.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a congratulatory acronym, and it's like a pat on the back to Birmingham for all the things that we've been doing to enhance our city, man. You know, we
Okay.
got the City Walk, the new protected stadium,
Right.
brought the World Games,
Right.
and the administration right now is doing a real good job of, you know, enhancing our city and trying to, you know, move us to the next level. So Bravo Birmingham is just another thing to kind of amplify all the good things that we got going on in Birmingham. And moving to the World Games, the World Games Committee actually found out about me and my business downtown through that collaboration.
Oh, that's hard.
And
That's dope.
then, you know, they approached me with wanting to partner for official licensed product for the World Games. And they kind of challenged me in the same type of way to come up with a good theme, a good themed shirt that could be licensed product for the World Games.
Yeah, I saw
And
that.
yeah, and we developed that globe T-shirt that we did, and it was a licensed product, and Fly V owned the rights to that
That's dope,
license.
man.
Yeah. So anytime that you know if you guys saw a lot of the people walking around with that Globe World Game shirt on, then yeah, that was made through Fly V.
I've seen that, man. That was real dope, man. And I really want to just applaud you right now, man, because I've watched you grow. You know what I mean? Even though
Appreciate that.
we don't like cross patterns a lot, but you know we see each other's social media and everything, and we see how you know you can see who's busy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can tell, man, like you have a great thing going, man. I just want to congratulate you on that. Like,
I appreciate that.
Like real talk. I ain't sure they're gonna be on this side, huh? I'm drinking this right here, the tequila.
Man, yeah, I'm a vet, so it's all good with me.
That's what's up.
Okay, hey y'all, I'm Maya from Studio Clothing. Come shop, you'll see me, I'll help you out. Great store, great sales, great street.
All right.
So,
Right.
but you go to, like I'm saying, especially West Coast, you go anywhere West Coast, you got plenty of folks with their own brands. With
All right, y'all, we back in the building. Got Mr. Drew Jones here with Fly V. So I wanted to ask you, like, what's been one of your toughest challenges throughout your whole process? Like, you can go back as far as like when you first opened your business up until now. Like, what's been one of your toughest challenges, and like, what and who keep you motivated?
I'll say, going back to what we was talking about earlier, like one of my toughest challenges is really, you know, your own self and your own emotions, not really getting too high when it's up and not really getting too down when it's down. And you know, I always try to stay motivated intrinsically, make sure I motivate myself to not get too down when it's down, not get too high when it's high, and really, you know, I keep my faith in the Lord. That's really what you know, keeps me motivated. You know, that's one of my main business secrets is, you know, I pray over my business every day. So that's one thing that definitely keeps me motivated, even when you hit a rough patch, or even, you know, when everything is hitting on all cylinders, everything's going good. You know, you still gotta, you know, kind of stay in the middle and stay focused and stay humble on what you got going on.
That's dope, man.
For sure.
Yeah. Anybody in particular that motivated you to like keep going? You know, it can be family, anybody. Like what? Somebody that you call on, you can talk to. You know what I mean? Because we don't all the time have that we can have somebody we can talk to about our business. You know
Correct.
what I mean? Like anybody in particular that keep you like motivated, that keep you striving and like keep going.
I say, you know, really from a personal standpoint, you know, my parents help keep me motivated a lot. You know what I'm saying? Me and my dad have a real good relationship. We talk daily, on the phone, and you know, I think that just from that personal standpoint, and how I live my life personally is how I apply myself to my business. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, however you are personally, that reflects in your business. What type
Right.
of man you are in your personal life reflects, in the way that you handle your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I rely a lot on, my family members. I got friends and cousins and stuff like that to help keep me motivated too. But, the main thing is, you listen to the ones that care about you, and everything else you gotta block out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And keep that tunnel vision focused on whatever your goal is.
Right.
For sure.
Okay, so what advice would you give? Let's say we had somebody who wanted to open a business, somebody that may already be in business,
Yeah.
and they may be having problems, not with anything specific, but what advice would you give someone who's like trying to open a business, somebody that's already business that they can like keep going and they can believe that it can happen? Because see, you gave us a whole story on how you started way back from high school, print shirts and stuff, your college career, your path that you took where you wanted to be in the NFL.
Right.
That didn't work out for you, but you reverted back to a t-shirt business.
Right.
Then you came up with the concept Fly V. Like what kind of advice would you give someone who's like may have given up on their dreams, or somebody who may feel like, oh, this is not for me? Like, what could you tell them?
Like starting a new business?
It can be a new business, somebody that's already in business. You know what I mean?
I think for the person that's trying to start a new business is, if you start a new business, I would definitely make sure that you do all the homework first. You know what I'm saying? You want to try to give yourself the best chance that you can for that business to survive. Having a business or a new business, it's almost like having a baby. Like you got a brand new baby, you know what I'm saying?
And people need to know that, man. It's a slow process.
Very slow.
Things don't just happen overnight.
Right.
Studio didn't happen overnight. Fly V didn't happen overnight.
Right.
People need to understand it's not a fast process, but it's a slow process.
Right.
And they need to understand that if they're willing to invest in themselves and they want it to grow, they need to understand that it won't happen overnight.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, man, because it's been a process, man. It's been a process for me, even getting to this point, man, where I'm at a point now where we want to uplift other businesses. We want to talk about your business and how you got started, what steps you've made, success, even some of the mistakes that you've made, because people have to realize, like, we all make mistakes.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, the shit happens, but we can't give up when we make those mistakes, so we have to keep going with it.
Yeah, man. You asked me about this earlier, about one of my early mistakes, but like, I think one of my biggest mistakes, I'm not gonna call it a mistake. I'm gonna say one of the biggest things I learned from, went to Magic. Magic is a big trade show in Las Vegas.
Okay.
It's for streetwear brands, stuff like that. Went to Magic. Been more than once, but first time I went to Magic, you just created a brand, and that's what I was going by, starting, doing stuff too fast, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like jumping steps. So, we went to Magic, got a booth out at Magic, spent like $5,000 in flights. Everybody came out there, flew people out there too, you know what I'm saying? And, just real rookies in the game, not really knowing what's going on.
Right.
And it's a 3-day event out there. It's like a big 3-day trade show. All the big buyers from all the different stores and stuff like that out there. And I feel like that's my biggest mistake. One, because I was trying to move too fast, grow too fast. But it's also where I learned the most. We went out there, didn't make any orders. You know what I'm saying? Didn't make any orders for those 3 days. But I feel like I learned the most in those 3 days, because it's kind of like the Super Bowl for streetwear. You know what I'm saying? I was out there. You had Floyd Mayweather out there. You had, at the time, my booth was right next to Aku and Hustle Gang and, all these big brands that's out here. And you see how they do business, and you see how they move and how they conduct business. You know what I'm saying? And at the time when I went out there, I was a rookie in the game, and I wasn't conducting business in that type of way. You know what I'm saying? So although it was a big mistake for me, I also learned a lot from that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it kind of helped me to, come back home and, stay motivated, but kind of redefine what it is I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of get more methodical about what you're doing, and that it's really more into it than just, putting out a T-shirt or putting out a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a whole business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you kind of get to see a lot of behind the scenes type of stuff of how branding works, how what makes stuff go. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man.
Yep.
So, with all you said, as far as like the beginning to the end, you gave us everything in the middle and everything. Like, what do you have going next? Like, what's next for Fly V?
Right now we're getting ready for fall 2022. Fall 2022, which our theme for that is gonna be fly into fall. So make sure y'all fly into fall, man.
Okay.
Fly into fall this year, fall 2022. Next up on the schedule right now is Morehouse Tuskegee Classic.
Okay.
We do the official apparel for the Morehouse Tuskegee Classic. So got that capsule that's dropping. Then we're gonna have some other stuff that's dropping Classic Weekend, like always. But outside of those two projects, make sure you check into the fall 2022. You know what I'm saying?
You got anything going for the top of the year 2023 yet?
Yeah, for sure, man. We got some new stuff that I want to try to do around the store, around downtown. Really trying to focus a lot more on community-based stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially with us being in the downtown area and everything they got going on downtown Birmingham to really be community-driven.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
It's
so-
all about the community, man.
Yep.
Yep.
But as far as Fly V goes, we trying to, always trying to, move it in the right direction. And kind of like what we've been talking about, it's a slow process, but as long as you're moving forward, then, you always better tomorrow than you was today. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I really appreciate you come through and wrapping it up with us, man. Tell
For
us
sure.
about everything you got going
For
on,
sure.
man.
I appreciate that.
That's dope, man.
I appreciate that.
Y'all
Hey,
check
y'all
him
make
out,
sure
man.
y'all check out my boy Jay in Studio Life. Make sure y'all pull up. If you get the call, come through the studio. Let everybody know your business story. Studio Life. Make sure y'all follow on Instagram at Fly V Collection too.
That's what's up, man. It's a wrap.
I start running full speed ahead for bread to be 100.
Or like,
then I'm coming from it, lead all that crash.
almost like business pounder, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And then, this is more like radio style. Now, I did plenty of radio, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's more like radio.
I just like to do editing because, like, you live and shit, it's like, it's more fresh on this shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You can edit, like, yeah. I got the black blood.
Oh, that fish,
Yeah,
That's why y'all got the ball to turn.
well, these, we trying to get sponsored. All these black ones, we trying to get them.
Oh, shit, I wish you had told me that. I would have brought me a bottle. My store be sponsored by Uncle Nearest. Yeah. Like, Uncle Nearest is a black-owned whiskey. Yeah. It's, Uncle Nearest is owned by, Farm Weaver is the CEO, but you check it out whenever you want to check their story out. But Nathaniel Green was a slave, and he's the one responsible for teaching Jack Daniels how to distill whiskey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, you
Dope,
check that
man.
out.
You learn something new every day. I did not.